Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Friday. I wasn't really expecting to make a video today. I was expecting to do a pregame video Saturday night, post it Monday on Sunday morning. However, there is some pretty decently sized news from the Chicago Bears today. I would like to start with the injury report. Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon have officially have been ruled out for Sunday's game. You know, Jaquan Brisker with that concussion and Kyler Gordon with his hamstring. I am not very surprised that Jaquan Brisker is taking a little bit longer to get out of this concussion. I figured that it probably would, given that it's his third concussion, and we've seen a couple of guys in this league with multiple concussions take a little while to get out of it. Most notably, Tua Tagovailoa out of Miami. He's had several concussions, and it takes him quite a while to get back. So Brisker, I am not surprised by. I don't mind that he's taking another week. I would rather see him healthy, especially going into division play. You're definitely going to want him back for those division games 100%. Now, Kyler Gordon with that hamstring. Soft tissue injuries can resolve themselves quite quickly. They can also resolve themselves not very quickly. So it might just be an in-between thing for him. It could just be that, I mean, they have him labeled as just did not practice at all today. So I wonder if he's just trying to be ginger with it, just to make sure that he could be 100% next week. Which, if that's the case, I would agree with that. Notables: Larry Borum, Travis Homer, Zach Pickens, Tyrell Smith, Scott Daly, Jacob Martin, all full practice today. Larry Borum is listed as questionable, so is Travis Homer. They don't have a game status for Tyreek Stevenson, although since he has been full practice today, I kind of expect to see him make the start on Sunday. Another notable is tight end Mercedes Lewis. He has a non-injury related rest. He's just got a dash next to him for the game status. So I expect to see him back next week as well, which is okay with me. Nice to see that Larry Borum appears to be on the right track. He was limited practice on Wednesday, full practice yesterday and today, although he does have himself listed as questionable. Same with Travis Homer. However, with the way that DeAndre Swift has been playing, do you really miss Travis Homer? Probably not. Although you would like to see him come off the injured list in case you get that trade for Khalil Herbert that you're looking for. I still expect Khalil Herbert to probably be traded by the deadline, but that is just my opinion on Khalil Herbert. Now, the big news from today is Velus Jones Jr. has been cut today. I had seen some rumors floating around that this might be a possibility for tomorrow. The Bears jumped on it today. The Bears waive third-round pick Velus Jones Jr. Now, I can't say that I'm going to miss the guy, if I'm being completely honest with you, Bears fans. You have given him so many different chances to try to prove himself to this roster. He muffs punts, then he muffs kickoffs. He fumbles the ball out of the backfield. I believe you've actually tried him at wide receiver, running back, maybe a tight end. It's just crazy that you've given him this many chances. I feel for the guy. I understand that you really want him to work. He's got good speed. Problem is he just can't hold on to the ball, unfortunately. I think that, opening up that roster spot helps you in the trade market if you're going to get anybody out of the trade market. I also think that I also think that that allows you to put your focus towards other players that need it, because trying to find ways to make Velus Jones work on this roster is probably taking away from somebody somewhere. Another one on that is running back, running back. Or I'm sorry, fullback. Fullback Khari Blasingame has also been released. To be honest, I didn't really see a whole lot of him this year. I can't really remember seeing a whole lot of him last year. I think that he was just a depth piece. So, I think that I don't really know if you could have gotten anything out of him or Velus Jones holding on to him until the trade deadline. But what that tells me is that the Bears may or may not be doing something at the trade deadline. If you are willing to let go of 2 roster spots, you could be trying to look for an open roster spot space there. I hope that both Khari and Velus can find footing on another team, because obviously I don't wish anybody ill will, even if there's shortfalls on my team. I would like to see them be successful in what they do. Obviously, just with the Bears, that wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. Other notables for the game on Sunday, Jaden Daniels had limited practice today, and he is officially listed as questionable. That's tough, because if he does make the start, you know that the Bears defense is going to go after him. There's no way that they don't. He's already going to be not 100%. And I can't see why you would even take that risk, because as of right now, the Bears defense is very good. And they're getting really good quarterback pressure as of late. And sorry about that. My phone was ringing and I had to dismiss that call. The Bears defense has been really good with quarterback pressures as of late. And Jaden Daniels being somewhat probably limited in his motion and ability to run, because it is a rib injury of all things. I think the Bears defense would be very smart to try to attack that. You're going to want to make Jaden Daniels uncomfortable. I'm not saying take dirty hits. I'm not saying take cheap hits. Make it a clean hit, but you know where his weakness lies right now. And on the flip side of that, if you're the Washington Commanders, I don't see the appeal of risking injuring him even further, because the Bears defense is very physical. The Bears defense, like I said, have been really good at quarterback pressures as of late and hurry-ups, and Jaden Daniels is a runner. And not only is he a runner, but he's a runner that doesn't take his slides, like, at all. He runs and takes the hits. So you kind of got to rework your offense to that effect to try to protect your quarterback, and that's not the scheming and not the way that they've been playing. So again, I just do not see the appeal of wanting to play him, because you're risking making that injury so much worse. And worst case for the Commanders is that you wind up losing him for the entirety of the season if ribs break. Because if it's a bone contusion or a bruise or something like that, yeah, it might take a week or 2 to heal, but it'll heal. But a broken rib, that can take a really long time. And again, I understand that you have Marcus Mariota sitting there and you're comfortable with him because apparently him and Jaden have very similar play styles. As an offensive coordinator, as a head coach, as ownership, if I was in that position, I would not take the chance on playing him. I would just let him sit for the week. I understand the hype around the number 1 and the number 2 quarterback are getting this huge matchup in primetime. I get that. But is it really worth it? Is that potential damage to your star quarterback worth it? I can't see a situation where it is. I mean, unless you need his mobility against the Bears defense compared to the mobility of Marcus Mariota, but I mean, they were both Heisman winners, and Marcus Mariota can move on his feet too. So again, I don't see the appeal. I just don't see it. With that being said, let's kind of wrap up with a couple of more potential trade details, because I've already spoken a couple of times this week that I think that you could get a decent return on Khalil Herbert if you package him with a pick. And originally I had said that the only way you'd probably get rid of Velus Jones is if you package him with a couple of picks, or if you package him with Khalil Herbert. Now you've just released him. And there's also now rumors around Larry Borom being on the trade block, because the Bears are getting calls about him, apparently. I would like to see Larry Borom come back and play and ball out for us, because, you know, our offensive line has struggles as it is. And, I mean, even if he's not a starter because you like the way that your offensive line is going right now, depth. I mean, depth. Because if you have any offensive line injuries, you don't really have a whole lot of trustable offensive linemen that could really help. So, you know, but everyone keeps talking about Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. I still think that it's going to cost a lot to get them. Would I go after a trade like that? I still would. If you manage to win the next 3 games or the next 2 games and you're sitting 7-2 at the trade deadline, I would 100% go for one of them. Or the guy out of Jacksonville, Trayvon Walker. I wouldn't mind it, because yes, you want to build your offense. I understand that you're trying to build your offense, and I know that your offense has its problems with its offensive line. However, my favorite talking point, because I don't see a lot of people talking about it, is the fact that you can really actually help your offense by keeping them on the field, getting them more reps. Because if you have a Trayvon Walker or a Garrett or a Crosby on the opposite side, Devontae Sweat, you could be creating such a lockdown defense that you're forcing 3-and-outs all the time, or you're forcing quarterbacks to throw into interceptions or forced fumbles or just any forced turnover at all, right? So you can really, really help your offense just by making your defense better, because, I mean, everyone says it. Defense wins championships. If your defense is already like the lowest in the league in allowed average points per game, I want to say 18.5 points this year, and it's a little bit lower than that if you go back to when that home win streak started, and when the defensive points allowed of 21 or under started, when that streak started. You're looking at a defense that doesn't give up more than 21 points at a time. And this year, it's even been better than that. So if you're thinking about, you know, if you could bring someone in like that, like, you know, your Trayvon Walker or your Max Crosby or whoever, and you're able to get that defense off of the field as soon as possible, yes, I understand that you have holes in your offensive line, but with your offensive line being on the field more, your offense has more opportunities to score. I'm not saying that they're going to score every single time just because they have more opportunities, but more opportunities has higher probability of scoring. That's just the way it is. I mean, typically, when you look at games, unless it's a completely weird, lopsided game and an offense works really fast, typically, if someone has a way lopsided time of possession, usually lopsided times of possessions, the one with more possession time typically wins the game. Unless the other offense is super efficient and they just score really fast. So I think that that's a double-edged sword. I really do. You can talk about, yeah, but then you also got to pay these defensive guys, and then you're not helping your offensive line, and what do you got to give up for it? I mean, I'm not saying give up all of your draft capital. Absolutely not. I still think that you're going to want to go build your offensive line in the offseason with a couple of trades and definitely some draft picks. 100%. Am I saying that you want to give up your Carolina second round pick? Probably not. I wouldn't. But you know, if you can get maybe a couple of fifths, a fourth, maybe wrap up Khalil Herbert in that trade, 100% I would go for it. I am a firm believer that the defense wins you the game when your offense can't score a lot. And I mean, hats off to the Bears. They have scored a lot this year. One of the absolute best scoring differentials in the league. So obviously their offense is doing something this year. But again, if your defense is getting the opposing offense off the field, your offense has more opportunities to score. And if you know that you have an opportunity at the playoffs, especially with the gauntlet coming up that we keep talking about, I wouldn't mind having one of those guys on my team when we go up against Green Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion on it. But yeah, I mean, today was a shocker for me. I did not see the Velus Jones news coming. For sure. Not the Blasingame information. That's kind of just unfortunate for him. But you know, as far as Velus Jones goes, good riddance. I'm sorry, but we've given you so many chances. We've played you at receiver. We've played you at tight end. We've played you at running back. We've tried playing you on so many different routes, and you can't hold on to the ball. You muffed punts, so we took you out of that. You basically muffed the first kickoff of the year, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, to a degree, I feel bad for him because obviously you got to give him reps so that he can turn around those mistakes, and then you could put the faith in him. But you've just ran out of chances with the Chicago Bears. That is what it is. And like I said, I hope that he finds success on another team. Just hopefully not one in our division. But you know, looking at our division play this week, I did not have Minnesota losing to Los Angeles on my bingo card for this week. I was severely surprised by that. I think that the NFL still has some work to do with their officiating because some of those penalty calls were pretty brutal, especially that one at the end of the game with that missed face mask call for the safety. I mean, but also, to be fair, Minnesota didn't have any timeouts left. 1:36 left on the clock. Was Sam Darnold really going to go 95 yards and then also get a 2-point conversion to force overtime? Doubt it. Unless you get one of those, you know, magical catches out of Jefferson where he just dodges a defender and just bombshells it 95 yards straight into the end zone. I just did not see that game ending in Minnesota's favor or them to really even make it interesting with just 1:38 left with no timeouts. That's just my opinion on it. Did I expect them to lose 2 in a row? No, but I also think that Detroit really broke open their offensive line and really showed how you can get pressure on the quarterback. And then, you know, LA turns around and does the same thing. They destroyed their offensive line and they stopped Sam Darnold from doing what he was doing when they went 5-0. I also think that there's some holes on Minnesota's defense, and also that that tackle or guard that just went down with that season-ending knee surgery. That is brutal. So now they've got even more problems. And so now, you know, let me just look up the schedule here really quick since I don't have it pulled up. So you know, you got the Packers and Jaguars. I'm 99% sure that Packers are going to absolutely smoke the Jaguars. Wouldn't even be mad if they did win. Can't be mad if they win because it's the Jaguars. However, if Trevor Lawrence, by the grace of the NFL gods, can have a turnaround comeback, I am severely pissed off kind of a game at home. That'd be fantastic. I would not be mad at it whatsoever. I would not be mad whatsoever. And then the Lions play the Titans, so I'm at home of all things. So I'm pretty confident that the Lions are just going to destroy the Titans. But however, with this Bears matchup, I mean, you sneak away with a win against the Commanders, even with your secondary still being a little bit injured. You could leapfrog yourself straight into, well, not second place, but you could at least get ahead of Minnesota by virtue of not having a divisional loss yet, like Minnesota does. So this weekend is going to be very interesting. The rest of it, I am very excited to watch football on Sunday. I might do a halftime break video just to kind of break down what I saw in the top half of the game. I use my Galaxy S24 to record right now because I don't have any equipment to do so, and it takes a little while to upload from my phone, so I don't know if I'd be able to do that. I'm looking at getting a web camera so that I could do this all on just solely on my laptop, so then that way I could do it. I could record it through the YouTube studio or through OBS and then just upload it quicker so that I could, upload videos in a timely manner. I'm also trying to work on an intro and then also some streaming stuff. So hopefully when I can get a webcam, we can get that rolling. And then also, like I mentioned in my last video, I do have some jerseys coming in. They're expected here on Monday. I do want to make a video on that because I'm a guy who can't justify spending $300 on a game version jersey from the NFL shop. So I get all of mine from China. I did wind up spending around $300, but I got the full blue, white, and orange sets for Jalen Johnson, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Tyreek Stevenson, and Cole Kmet. So I would like to do a little bit of an unboxing video and potentially a video on what I do when I look for them, when I go looking for jerseys, and how I like to do that. But that also involves setting up the streaming stuff and screen capturing and all that stuff, which I'm learning how to do right now. So with that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, night, morning, whenever you're watching this. And we will touch base on Sunday around halftime. So y'all enjoy yourselves.